When I was a kid, I always dreamed of exploring abandoned places. There was something about the eerie silence and forgotten history that fascinated me. But nothing could have prepared me for what I encountered at the Waverly Hills Sanatorium. It was a crisp autumn evening when my friends and I decided to visit this infamous asylum. We'd heard all the stories, the countless deaths, the paranormal activity, the tortured souls still wandering the halls. But we were young and naive, thinking it was all just urban legends. As we approached the massive Gothic structure looming against the darkening sky, a chill ran down my spine. The decaying facade seemed to watch us, almost daring us to enter. We hesitated at the entrance, exchanging nervous glances. But our curiosity got the better of us, and we stepped inside. The moment we crossed the threshold, the air grew heavy and cold. Our flashlights barely penetrated the thick darkness that enveloped us. The silence was deafening, broken only by the sound of our footsteps echoing through the empty corridors. We made our way deeper into the asylum, past crumbling walls covered in peeling paint and graffiti. Every room told a story of suffering, abandoned medical equipment, rusted bed frames, and wheelchairs frozen in time. It was as if the building itself was holding on to the pain of its former patients. As we climbed to the upper floors, a sense of unease grew stronger. We started hearing things, whispers in the darkness, the faint sound of footsteps when we were all standing still. At one point, I swear I saw a shadow dart across the hallway ahead of us. But it wasn't until we reached the infamous 5th floor that things took a terrifying turn. This was where the most severe tuberculosis patients were kept, where countless lives were lost. The moment we stepped onto that floor, the temperature dropped dramatically. Our breath came out in visible puffs, despite it being a warm night outside. We were about to turn back when we heard it, a blood-curdling scream echoing from the end of the hallway. It sounded so real, so full of anguish, that we all froze in terror. Then, one by one, doors began slamming shut around us. The flashlights flickered and died, plunging us into total darkness. Panic set in. We ran blindly through the corridors, trying to find our way out. The screams continued, seeming to follow us no matter which way we turned. I felt cold hands grabbing at my clothes, heard raspy voices whispering in my ear. It was like the entire building had come alive, determined to keep us trapped within its walls. After what felt like hours, we finally burst out of the front doors, gasping for air. We didn't stop running until we reached our car, our hearts pounding in our chests. As we sped away, I glanced back at the asylum. For a moment, I swear I saw faces pressed against the windows, watching us leave. That night at Waverly Hills changed me forever. It opened my eyes to a world beyond our own, a realm where the lines between the living and the dead blur. Since then, I've dedicated my life to exploring the most haunted places on Earth, seeking answers to the mysteries that lie hidden in the shadows. From the catacombs of Paris to the Island of the Dolls in Mexico, I've witnessed things that defy explanation. I've felt the icy touch of unseen hands, heard voices from empty rooms, and seen apparitions that vanish in the blink of an eye. Each location has its own dark history, its own restless spirits. Take Poveglia Island in Venice, for example. This small island has a horrific past, serving as a quarantine station for plague victims and later as an asylum. The soil is said to be made up of 50% human ash. Walking its overgrown paths, you can almost hear the echoes of suffering that linger in the air. Or consider the Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia. Once home to some of America's most notorious criminals, its Gothic architecture and crumbling cell blocks are a hotbed of paranormal activity. Visitors report seeing shadowy figures, hearing unexplained footsteps, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. But of all the places I've explored, none compare to the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia. This massive structure once housed thousands of mentally ill patients. many of whom were subjected to cruel and inhumane treatments. The energy there is palpable, a mix of sorrow, anger, and despair that seems to seep from the very walls. During one investigation at Trans-Allegheny, my team and I set up cameras and audio equipment throughout the building. As night fell, the activity began. We heard disembodied voices, saw objects move on their own, and even captured a full-bodied apparition on camera. But it was what happened in the lobotomy room that truly shook us to our core. As we stood in that room, surrounded by rusted medical instruments, the temperature plummeted. The air became thick, making it hard to breathe. Suddenly, we all felt an intense pressure, as if something was trying to push us up. Then, clear as day, we heard a voice whisper, "Get out. This is our home." We didn't need to be told twice. We grabbed our equipment and ran, not stopping until we were safely outside. Looking back at the asylum, silhouetted against the night sky, I realized that some places are better left undisturbed. The spirits that reside there are not always welcoming to the living. These experiences have taught me that there is more to our world than what we can see and touch. Veil between our reality and the next is thin, and in places like these abandoned asylums and forgotten prisons, it becomes almost non-existent. But it's not just about the scares or the thrill of encountering the unknown. Exploring these haunted locations is about preserving history, giving voice to those who can no longer speak for themselves. It's about understanding the human capacity for both cruelty and resilience. As I continue my journey into the world's most haunted places, I'm driven by a desire to uncover the truth behind the legends, to bring light to the darkness. But I also approach each investigation with respect and caution, knowing that some secrets are meant to stay buried. So the next time you pass by an abandoned building or hear whispers of a local haunted spot, remember, those walls may hold more than just memories. They might be home to spirits still searching for peace, waiting for someone brave enough to listen to their stories. Just be careful, because once you open that door to the other side, there's no telling what might come through. And sometimes, the most terrifying things are the ones we can't see, lurking just beyond the edge of our perception, waiting for their moment to reveal themselves. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you for watching.